Good morning, tribe, and welcome to Monday morning coffee chat. I am here with my coffee today, so exciting. So I'm going to give a few seconds for people to hop on, and today we're going to talk about exactly what the tagline of this video says. Why we don't complete fitness programs. Whether that's a program that's like a home workout program that we bought a million years ago, or a fitness program that a personal trainer gave us, or a nutritional program that a doctor gave us, or whatever the program is. I said fitness program, but this really applies to any program that you have been given, and why we stop doing it. Once again, I have conversations on a daily with people who have a variety of different experiences with programs, whether they're nutritional or fitness or whatever. And typically, they get very excited about something, they purchase it, and then by the week, I would say maybe a little bit more than that, they stop. And they don't know why, but they get very frustrated. They say that it's too hard. And then they say the product doesn't work. That's like the immediate thing that we want to say is the product doesn't work, because it's much harder to say that we didn't stick with it. And I'm speaking directly from experience, because my very first home workout program I ever tried, I was 19, and it was actually a Beachbody program. It was Hip Hop Abs with Shanti, and I did it for a week, and then I quit. And this was before I knew anything about Shakeology or having a coach or challenge groups or accountability or anything like that. I just bought it off of my enthusiasm, and I wanted to really try it, and then I quit. And it was a lot easier for me to say, home workout programs don't work for me, and the product itself doesn't work, than it was for me to be honest and say, I'm not ready to commit to something like that. Or I'm struggling to commit to something like that. And ultimately, that is the real reason why we don't complete programs. It's very tempting to start a program and say, well, these moves are just too hard, or the nutrition is too complicated, or I just don't have the time, or it's a lot easier, and it feels more comfortable for us to blame externally things for why we are having a hard time completing something. And this is not a criticism, but it's to raise awareness, because it doesn't matter if you're ready or not ready, but it matters to me that you're being honest with yourself about why something is not working. Because as long as you are not taking responsibility for why something is not working for you, you will never recognize the pattern, and you will never be able to create change. So it's very, very important to me that you are honest with yourself about your process. And that's okay. It's okay if you bought a program 20 years ago and you didn't complete it, or but you still have it, and you're not a failure. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not broken. You were not ready for that level of commitment at that time. And maybe you didn't have support or accountability or whatever the case may be. But the truth of the matter is, when we quit on something, and that's very hard for us to admit, number one, that we even quit on something, right? But that's okay, because quitting happens. We're human beings. We're not always ready to take something on and say full force yes, right? We have emotional baggage. We have emotional history. We have triggers, right? We do things for the wrong reasons sometimes. Like, some of us might start fitness programs because we want to have a six-pack, or we want to be skinny like someone that we know, and that's the wrong reason. It's not sustainable. You're not going to stick with something, because when you don't see a six-pack in a week, guess what's going to happen? You're going to quit. But when the reason for you wanting to do something comes from the right motivation, which means taking care of yourself because you value yourself and you genuinely want to feel better, you want to have more energy, you want to have more endurance, you just want to take better care of yourself in general, staying with something is much more likely, because now the motivation is coming from internal. You are internally wanting to take care of yourself, so you're far more likely to stick with something. But when the motivation comes externally, you see someone, you want to have what they have, so you say yes to something. It's an unrealistic motivation, and it's very short-lived. So you're going to burn out and you're going to quit because you're not going to see that kind of transformation in a week or two. You know what I'm saying? Or even a month. It might take 3, 4, 5 months for you to see that kind of transformation. But you're far more likely to stick with a process to get to that transformation if the motivation is intrinsic, right? So I really want us to pay attention to the reason being that we do not succeed at certain programs that we are given. Once again, it could be a fitness program, it could be a nutritional program your doctor gave you, it could be a workout schedule your personal trainer gave you. Whatever the thing is, the reason we don't stick with it is not because it's too hard. It's not because it's too complicated. It's not because they didn't know what they were talking about. It's not because it doesn't work. It's because we, at the moment that we are given it, have a difficult time committing to the process. And oftentimes it's because we haven't come to a place yet of accepting that this is important and accepting that we want to do that. We don't take ownership of it because we want to take care of ourselves, right? So I think that's really important. Again, not a criticism, simply awareness raising. We can't change a pattern or a habit unless we raise our awareness of the pattern or habit. And most likely, if you're anything like me, if you quit on something like a fitness program within the week, you've probably quit at other things too in your life, similarly, because you got overwhelmed. It's probably a habit that you see showing up in multiple areas of your life, not just with a fitness program. Why? Because it's not about the program. It's not about the moves. It's not about the nutrition. It's not about the time. It's about you. It's about you having a hard time committing to something because mentally or emotionally, you're not in the place where that's going to be of significance to you. Or you have not yet built the intrinsic desire to want to take care of yourself enough that you say yes and you stick to something, right? One of my mentors a long time ago said something to me that really, it hurt when she said it. Like really, really hurt. But I heard her. I heard her when she said this, and it never, never left my mind. She said to me, when you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll make a different choice. That's all she said. And she literally walked away. When you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll make a different choice. And I pass that on to you guys because it's so, so, so true. That's exactly how we work. It's only when we get to a point of desperation, when we are so over ourselves being in the same habits and the same patterns, that we finally decide to commit, that we finally make a different choice. And it's kind of sad in the sense that we are often led to very extreme painful ends before we make a different choice, because pain is a very strong motivator. It's far stronger than pleasure. Avoiding pain is much more effective than doing something because it feels good. So it often happens that we get to the point of desperation, of desperate pain, and displeasure with ourselves or feeling down or whatever, before we are prompted to make a change. But then what happens once we say, okay, I'm ready to make the change, is we get overwhelmed with the actual change. Instead of seeing the process as like a daily situation, a daily circumstance, instead of breaking down our goal to like, today I'm going to do this. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm just going to do that. We think about the distance between where we are and where we want to be. We become overwhelmed. Our self-sabotage flares up. Our emotional or mental baggage flares up. And we quit. And we quit and then we say, the program didn't work. It was too hard. I didn't have the time. It wasn't for me. Right? So in this video, I invite you guys to think about the times in your life when you've done that, when you've purchased the program, or you've gotten a script from a doctor, or you've started a training program then quit, and ask yourselves, was it really true that it didn't work for me? Was it really true that I didn't have the time? Or is it far more likely that I, at that time, did not give myself the opportunity to commit because of my emotional state or my mental state or wherever I was? And then, do you want to make a different choice? We're about to start a brand new year, you guys. This is the last month of this year. You've got a brand new 2017 coming at you, ready for you to step into what you want to be, what you want to do, but really who you want to be, right? So If you have a program right now in your living room, this is my invitation to you guys. If you have a program right now in your living room that you bought 5, 10, whatever, years ago, that you're still interested in, because it's important that you're interested in, that it's something that is exciting to you, that you like, because if you don't like it, this invitation is not going to work. And if that's the case, then I invite you to talk to me about another thing. But if you already have a thing that you are interested in, you've just never been able to commit, then let's get together, put you into a support group, and let's get you back on that program, okay? You don't have to buy anything from me. You don't have to buy shit from me. I don't care. But what I want you to start doing and addressing is breaking the pattern of you quitting on something even when you really want it, right? Interrupting the pattern. And probably when you did it last time, you didn't have a support system. You didn't have a group of people. You didn't have accountability. You didn't have a coach. It's very different when you have someone who's like watching out for you, checking in with you, posting about their own journey, right? And you can see in your reflection, you. That's a very different feeling, right? So if you're that person and you do have a program and it's somewhere stuffed in a garage or a box or something, then comment below in this video or send me a message and let's put you into the group and get you on that plan. Let's follow the calendar. Let's figure out what you need to feel engaged in the program again, and let's put you into the program, because we need to interrupt the pattern. And part of the reason why I love fitness and I love coaching people with fitness first is because it's a very tangible thing that interrupts habit. It's something that's very easy to grasp, that you can plug into and interrupt a habit, interrupt a behavior, right? So that's my goal for you guys. I want you to start interrupting the behavior of quitting, the behavior of saying that something is too hard or you don't have the time or you're overwhelmed, and realizing, that you can make it manageable for you if you break it down and if you have support, okay? So that's my invitation for you. Pull out those old workout TVs. Or if you're working out at a gym or a program, but you still want accountability, you still want a group to check in with and say, hey guys, I did this today, or I'm struggling with, I need a recipe, or I need some nutritional support, or whatever, let me know. I've got a whole group of people doing that every single day, and not all of them are on the products that I use. They're on different things, but they use the group as a check-in point for support, right? So let me know. Let's interrupt that pattern. Let's stop quitting on things that we know we should, and let's start 2017 like a boss. Feel me? Have a great Monday, guys.